Okay, moving on to the final rhythm on the additive side. In other words, we started with quarter notes, right? Let's see if we can find those. We started off with quarter notes. Right, remember these? Make sure you can see everything. Oh, that might be a little bit out of the picture. We had 4 quarter notes, like so. And let's see if I can find a quarter rest because I got to even it out. So it's 4 of them, right? 4 quarter notes and 3 quarter notes and a quarter rest, each equaling 1 beat each. If I put them all together in one pile and add 4 times 1, we end up with a whole note. It's held with 4 beats. Okay? And there's a chart up that shows you that whole breakdown anyway. But anyway, my point is, we just went from 1 beat to 2 beats now to 4 beats, right? And here is our whole note. It lasts for 4. In contrast to our quarter note, our quarter note had a black dot and a stem. Our half note had a hollow note and a stem. We see that our whole note is just a note, a hollow, somewhat of an egg-shaped note. And it fills the time of 4 quarter notes. It lasts for 4 counts. And this is its cousin. This rests for 4 beats. Or notice it says it rests for a whole measure. And this is held for a whole measure. And of course, let's just assume that the measure then is going to last for what? 4 beats, okay? So if that's the case, if this lasts for 4, then we better separate these, right? Because that's going to be 4 beats. This is going to rest for 4 beats. This is going to be another 4 beats, and we're going to rest for 4 beats. So in the music world, if we saw this now on staff paper coming on up, by the way, this would be measure number 1, measure number 2, measure number 3, measure number 4, each measure lasting 4 beats. So while we're on that subject, let's round things off a little. So we're saying there's 4 beats in the measure. We might as well put this over here. If each one of these is a measure lasting 4 beats, then we probably will always see this at the beginning of our music. And this is called the time signature. 2 numbers. The top number tells us how many beats will be in every measure. And that is so true of this particular example here, right? Measure number 1, there are 4 beats in it. Measure number 2, we're resting for 4 beats. It still counts. Measure number 3, 4 beats. Measure number 4, 4. So this is 4. And the bottom note tells us that what rhythm is going to represent 1 beat. The quarter note is going to represent 1 beat, and we already learned that. So that's almost understood, right? Yeah, the quarter note is going to be the note that represents 1 beat. So here we have quarter notes representing 1 beat, the top note telling us how many beats are in each measure. That's called the time signature, okay? Now let's just go ahead and play this thing using the note middle C again, and get ready. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, and rest for measure 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest for measure 4. Again, 1, 2, 3, that's measure 1, and rest for 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, and rest for number 4. So there you go. We went over quarter notes now, we went over half notes, and then this represents whole notes with the addition of the explanation of time signature. So that's a good one. Okay, see you in the next lesson.